Global Mafia, welcome to your home for non-mainstream thinking, news that's outside the box and on the uncharted jurisdiction. Let's get to this knowledge, forbidden knowledge that is, have a conversation about it in the comments. Let's go on this journey.
Time, they show you exactly what they are about, and this is no different. But maybe she's just a fan of triangles, right? Maybe that's all there is to this, right? Or maybe there is something more going on here, because why else would she be showing this right here? Why else would she be? I don't know. You tell me. Again, every single time, it doesn't matter the sporting event. It doesn't matter, for pretty much any of these major events. They always show you. Again, you tell me what is going on at the World Cup 2026 opening ceremony, because there are a lot of bizarre things definitely happening every single day. And you can add this to the list, especially when you even see stuff like this right here. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. What does this have to do with soccer? I mean, come on. It's right there. But again, there's probably nothing to this at all. Again, it's just a shape. That's all that it is.
He's talking about in the video potentially paying homeowners $1,000 a month to host a mini AI data center in their backyard. From the street, it would look like a normal AC unit. Inside, 16 Blackwell GPUs running at full capacity. The AI boom is moving into the suburbs. Couldn't see how that could possibly go wrong. It's bad enough, we already got to look into the camera here and say, hey guys, how you doing? Right? We're already being, let's not kid ourselves. We're already being surveilled like crazy. The 1984 Big Brother just in your face, yes, in fact, we'll even...
Not only the surveillance, but you see what happens from them 5G towers if you live close. If you have a data center on your house, what type of health risk does that pose?
This thing to me come from the Sahara. One theory they have is that the culture that eventually moved to Egypt came from the Sahara. So I say, well, the Sahara is just sand. Well, it's just sand today. But we know that at one time it was flourishing. There were forests, there was water. There probably was an earlier civilization, and some of those come from the Tassili, where there are a lot of those representations. So there were a lot of people living there at one time, and they painted that on the rocks.
You see similar things that indigenous people in Australia have painted, similar things. It's all over the world.
Yes.
In completely separate environments, very similar features. In these
to the Seychelles Islands in Africa.
It's wild.
After a certain time at 6 p.m., they close all access to the water. They say, do not go in the shallow water, you'll get taken. Not by mermaids, but by mermen. Wyclef Jean said he had an encounter with a merman. You ever seen that? That's my boy.
Someone please call 911.
Yes, sir. Him right there. Him right there.
Death doesn't scare me, but you know what does? The music industry. So this creator, Epic Paranormal, just made a video about how he went to a Lana Del Rey concert and the vibes were really off. It wasn't only the spooky vibe going on stage, but the fans in the crowd were doing really abnormal things. There was this one fan that was screaming the entire concert, begging Lana Del Rey to unalive him. It was not normal crowd fan behavior. He said he kept trying to take pictures, and every time he did, his phone would distort the faces. What is going on? And then how do you tell me that this is Lana Del Rey? That does not look like, that looks like a demon. She looks like a man in a mask and a coat and ugh. And to give you reference on why this is so weird, she was dressed like this. And it's not one photo or one person, it was everyone. This girl upped the contrast of the photo, and you would think that it would make her look more like Lana Del Rey, but she looks less. She looks more like a demon or a man in a mask. Now you could argue He is a paranormal content creator. Is this just content he's trying to make? Who knows? But yeah, people are terrified. What do you
And we'll put it back up at the end. But these interact with liquid crystal fields, and a simple Google search will show you that you are a liquid crystal being. These are used to affect your mood, anxiety, even your intuition. These are being fed into data centers, back to the Palantir-based predictive model. The end game is to be able to read the grid live, to predict every single move.
I was just saying the effects of a data center on your house. Wow. Let me know how y'all feel about it.
You're watching everyone cheer because high-level political figures are threatening to finally declassify the UFO files. You think the establishment is panicking. You think it's a massive victory for truth. You are actually watching a masterclass in psychological capture. I'm going to reveal the exact, hidden, exopolitical operation being rolled out right in front of your eyes. But before I expose the endgame of this synchronized narrative, you must first understand the reality of the forces delivering the message. Is the government telling the truth that these crafts exist? Yes. Is the entire mainstream disclosure movement a meticulously engineered psyop? Absolutely. Of your eyes. But before I of the forces delivering the message. Is the government telling the truth that these crafts exist? Yes. Is the entire mainstream disclosure movement a meticulously engineered psyop? Absolutely. If you study the foundational exopolitical research of Ashiana Dean or the subquantum physics of W.R. Schoch, you discover a very uncomfortable truth. The political theater we see is not a glitch in the matrix. Major players operate as proxies for competing off-world factions. The Pleiadian Anunnaki, sometimes called the Tall Whites or the Olympians, who are currently waging a multi-dimensional turf war against rival deep state factions. They are not fighting to set you free. They are fighting over who gets to act as the landlord of the human energy farm. So why the sudden rush to talk about UFOs and non-human intelligence? Deep research that I've conducted and others has warned us about this specific agenda for decades. It is the final phase of a coordinated psychological blueprint. They have spent 50 years conditioning your mind with Hollywood narratives, engineered abduction stories, and controlled whistleblowers. The ultimate strategy is to manufacture an external threat or a staged benevolent rescue using ultra-real holographic projections, atmospheric plasma tech, and advanced black-budget military drones that they want you to think are from another galaxy. But why go through all the trouble of staging a space war? Because the real invasion is always done through consent. They cannot take your soul by force. They need you so terrified of the sky, or so desperate for a savior from a galactic federation, that you willingly hand over your sovereignty.
That last part is going to ruffle a few feathers. How do we feel about that? Is this age being pushed for something nefarious, or what's going on behind the scenes?
Family for Earth, and anything that is from the list of the top 20 things, your visions that you want to create to leave behind for your children, for your family, for Earth, and anything that is from 3 to 20, from now on, say no, N-O, to everyone and everything. And they're going to be offended. They're not going to understand, but you're going to be able to free up that energy to focus and direct it into your top 1, 2, 3 visions. And when you start building momentum in that, all those other opportunities will come back to you in the future. So say no and O.
Learned a long time ago to not talk about dates of anything that may or may not be happening anytime soon. But I did find something that was interesting. Oh, and this is for entertainment purposes only. So I saw some pictures of where they're building the UFC fight stage and all of that in front of the White House. And I saw something that was, I don't know, just interesting. Notice the color pattern behind the stage on that screen. What does that remind you of? I'm going to show you again. Now, I am not saying anything is going to happen. I am not. I mean, not then. That's what, June 14th? But I feel like no matter what, it was a little nod to the ones who know. Definitely a nod.
The secret is to keep as much air in your body as possible. That will keep your body healthy. Chlorophyll helps keep air in your body. Chlorophyll that you get from plants, fresh fruits, vegetables. Everything that's green has chlorophyll in it. You want to get chlorophyll. It mimics the melanin crystal. And anything that mimics melanin is a free radical and helps you be healthy. And chlorophyll looks just like melanin. It is the plant's melanin. So we're going to use antioxidants. Chlorophyll is one of them. They call them vitamin A, vitamin C, the word ACE, like the ace of spades. Just think of ACE. ACE and selenium, ACE and zinc, antioxidant.
Like your pineal gland and moves it to where it's supposed to be. Number 2 is spirulina. Not blue spirulina, regular spirulina. Because the chlorophyll binds to and removes excess heavy metals from your body. And the last thing I take is some form of monoatomic gold. I like the Iamqueheff brand, but whatever you prefer. This helps strengthen the electrical current. Once you start doing all these 3 things every day, you will feel a difference. It's time to start tuning in.
Wars are the worst of all. Wars are worse than anything. But we can stop wars because that's sort of up to us. But things like dust flying in the air, wherever COVID comes from or whatever comes.
So what is Trump talking about when he says dust and things that are in the air wherever COVID comes from? What is he talking about? He's not just talking about chemtrails. He's giving you a hint because through karmatic retribution, they have to tell you what they're doing. This is the dust that he's talking about. Smart dust. Now, I've spoken about this many times on my show before, but if you do not know what smart dust is, let's take a look. Smart dust refers to vast networks of microscopic sensors called MOTS that are micro electromechanical systems, MEMS for short, capable of sensing, computing, and communicating data like temperature, light, vibration, and chemicals wirelessly, transmitting information from their environment. These tiny autonomous devices, often compared to grains of sand, work together to form large sensor networks, powering themselves through ambient energy and revolutionizing applications from environmental monitoring to what? Healthcare. So, these little devices are small as a grain of sand. That's why they're called dust. You can literally, they can spray them in the air. That's really what is in those chemtrails. They can spray them in the air. You breathe them in. So it doesn't matter if you took that or you didn't. They can literally have you breathing this in every day. That's why people had seen that weird fog that was going on. But it goes a little deeper than that. This is actually nanoparticle technology that if you didn't take what they told you you had to take a few years back, they still have to get these types of particles into your body in order to get people to take that and for that to work. So they're doing it. That's why if you notice, he mentions war, but along with war, he mentions the dust that's in the air, because they have to tell you what they're doing to you. Like I'd said, it's karmatic retribution. It's these people are very, very high black magicians.
Now, I'm not sure if Trump was rambling or he just said words and put them together. I don't know what y'all think about that. I didn't look too deep into that one because Trump be saying a lot.
Should love our families. I think we need to spend more time with our children, love one another.
You can take from that the implication that there's something portentous or catastrophic down the track.
Maybe we need to focus on each other and try to be more kind to one another, try to be more patient, try to give grace, take time to tell your children you love them, take time to tell your spouse you respect them and you love them. That's my word of advice.
I honestly don't know. I hear this speculation all the time. Lou's dropped a couple of clangers about it over the years. He's not the only one doing it, by the way. There are many narratives running through UAP suggesting that there's some kind of imminent catastrophe, imminent event which poses a threat to human safety. I really don't know what it is. I mean, at its least, Lou's basically suggesting that disclosure might be an ontologically shocking event, that it might be something that puts human beings on the back foot, especially in terms of establishment religion and things like that. Lou's often said, if I can share one anecdotal story of the phenomena, I direct people's attention to a collection of short stories to a novella called Chains of the Sea. It's got a young boy in it called Tommy who can perceive other people, invisible or interdimensional entities. They coexist with humanity on Earth. They're all around us. Meanwhile, mysterious alien spacecraft land in various locations across the world. Governments panic. They attempt cover-ups, as governments do, and they fail. Military responses prove ineffective. Humanity's AI systems, now this is interesting, secretly communicate with the visitors, bypassing humans. The aliens aren't really all that interested in us humans, and they reveal that Earth is already ruled by ancient non-human intelligences that have long been present but hidden from normal human perception. So what the story's all about is, are the aliens friendly or are they malevolent? And the best answer I can give, that I express as a third alternative, is, are they indifferent? In the same way that we are to ants. So the story is essentially, The Chains of the Sea is all about humanity's irrelevance or marginal status on its own planet, and the fact that this is the subject of institutional denial. The poor protagonist, Tommy, is eventually medicated and dismissed as a complete raving loony. So that's the ontological shift that I surmise and suspect Lou Elizondo is talking about. Whatever it is, it's largely indifferent to us.
At this point, I'm not sure everybody is not in on it. We won't know until we see with our own, or somebody that you trust.
Thoughts are frequencies that speak out to the universe to attract back to you what you want. This is how your thoughts work. This rock is a thought. I want to be successful. It sends ripples out into the universe, and it starts to attract back to you what it is you're constantly thinking about. You see how far those ripples out are going? That's why you need to be careful with what you say and how you think, because this literally has way more reach than you think it does. Y'all see, I threw it right there. Them ripples is still going out all the way out there. That's how your thoughts work. That's how what you speak into existence works. What you say to yourself every day, what you think to yourself every day.
That's a great place to end the compilation. Your thoughts, your subconscious thinking manifests what happens into reality. If it's not right now, it's in moments in the future. Whoever knows when that is. Let me know how y'all feel about this compilation. What's the next deep dive y'all want me to go on? Appreciate all the Global Mafia members. Hit that sub button. Run us up. Get us in the algorithm. Over appreciate it. We're going to keep getting to this knowledge. One person will never know everything, but as a collective, we can figure it all out. You know, I am cash. $sign for that.